Alright, hello class. Um, Today we're going to be presenting our planning project. The team was Emmanuel, David, Waseem, and myself, Ryan. I'll be starting by talking about the background, which includes the study area, the data collection, and transportation problems. Starting with the study area, we chose Austin, Texas. Austin has a rapidly growing population due to many booming industries. It's centrally located between San Antonio, Houston, and DFW. It lies on many strategic economic routes between the mentioned above cities, as well as on paths to the Gulf of Mexico and the Mexican border. Next, we'll be talking about some of the data we collected from the city of Austin, including demographic, land use, and transportation plans. Starting on the left, we have our population map, which shows the majority of population lies north to south through the downtown along I-35. And the right side, we see the median household income is much higher in the west and north of Austin. Next, we have a map on the left that shows the median age is much higher in the north and west of the city, and that on the right we have a map that shows the Asian population is much larger in the north of Austin than elsewhere. Next, we have a map showing the Hispanic population is much higher in the east and the south of Austin, and the Black population is higher in the northeast of Austin. Next, we got the white population is highest in the west, north, downtown areas of the city. And now we've got some statistics that explain the population of the city more. Here we've got a breakdown of the gender population by age, which just shows that the gender breakdown is very similar. Then we got some population statistics that break down the population further, such as an average median age of 34, 18% of the population is immigrant, 19% under 18, 10% over 65, 4% veterans. Then we have our population's education, which shows 93% have a high school diploma or equivalent, 60% have a bachelor's degree at least. Then we have some household statistics that show there's over 400,000 houses, 210,000 families, an average household of 2, and an average family size of 3. And 21% of households have someone under the age of 18, and 21% of households live alone. We then have a breakdown of how people commute to work, and aside from the 39% that work from home, the vast majority drive their own car, with a small percent sharing cars, and a very small combined percent using alternative methods such as bicycles, walking, public transportation, which shows that automobiles still dominate the method of transportation in the city. We then have a land use map that shows that there's single family houses just everywhere, but on the west of the city there's a lot more, parks, campgrounds, etc. And then downtown and along I-35 to the north and south, there's a lot more offices and commercial areas and apartment type housing. And in the east, there's a lot more farmland and industrial and heavy facilities. Next, we've got our transportation plans that the city has. This includes the strategic mobility plan for bikes, the strategic mobility plan for urban trails, the strategic mobility plan for sidewalks, crossing, and shared streets, Project Connect, and IH35 Capital Express project. The plan for bikes is shown on the right. It shows the already adopted pathways as well as future planned bicycle paths in purple. Next, on the left, we see the urban trails plan, which in the green you see the existing network, and other colors show future proposed network. And then we have sidewalks and crossings. In the blue, you can see existing paths, and then the other colors show planned paths for the future. And then finally, on the right, you see Project Connect, which shows proposed additional bus routes, as well as a new light rail system. Finally, we've identified three transportation problems in the city. The first one is traffic congestion. Austin is considered the most congested city in Texas and the 19th in the country. Drivers in Austin spend 25% more time on the road because of congestion. Transportation demand management is being used to reduce solo car trips to improve this issue. The next problem we've identified is public transit inefficiencies. Buses often don't cover what's known as the last mile of a person's journey. Public transit was also found to be 50% longer than automobile travel, and both of these are obviously massive deterrents to public transportation. Austin is implementing Project Connect to expand public transit to try and fix this issue. Our final issue we identified is pedestrian safety. Between 2010 and 2015, 1,900 pedestrians were involved in traffic crashes with 121 fatalities. On the right, you can see traffic crashes involving pedestrians since 2018 as well. Austin is considered more dangerous than other large cities like Philadelphia and San Francisco. The Zero Vision Plan and other plans and laws are being implemented to offer improvements and recommendations to increase pedestrian safety. And our next presenter will carry on from here.
Hi, my name is Emmanuel Lomeli, and I will be talking about future transportation. With the advancement of technology, plenty of room is left for improvements and new innovations to make transportation much easier and much more efficient. Our first topic on the list is air taxis. This is an idea that is currently being backed by the FAA and is hopeful to be released in certain markets by 2028. How this works is a small airplane or helicopter will take off and land vertically, allowing for operations in the middle of cities. This is to take people to places like airports. The aircraft is also designed to be electric, which may lead to less distance due to the battery, but it's much more eco-friendly. So the main negative of this is convincing the government, that it is safe and viable. Although with the idea that this could be a multi-billion-dollar industry, it's bound to take off. In contrast to everyday transportation in the air, what if it was underground? One of the major problems roads brings is land fragmentation. This splits up wildlife, causes higher tree mortality, and can interrupt the flow of water. While we may see building roads as a normal thing, it affects a lot around us. So by moving it underground, it would produce a lot of changes in Austin. Imagine parks and businesses being much more spread out. So parking spaces would also be moved down, which would provide a remedy for heavy congestions if cars were to resurface. This could also fix noise pollution, which is the second most harmful stressor in the world, according to the WHO. So the main problem with this is getting it, going, and the pretty big cost of it. The energy and money cost of having to have ventilation and lighting for 24 hours is not very ideal, in conjunction with the potential fire hazards that can produce some pretty apocalyptic events. Switching back to the surface, we have maglev trains. These are floating trains that use powerful electromagnets to attain higher speeds. The reason these trains can hit such high speeds is the lack of rail friction. So how this works is, in the figure shown, you can see the coils running along the walls of the track. This is what is called a guideway. This repels the magnets on the train's undercarriage, causing the train to levitate. Once the train is levitated, power is then supplied to the coils, which create a unique set of magnetic fields that push and pull the train. The current of electricity is constantly altered to change the polarity of the magnetized coils, which produces the thrust and pull motions magnetically. The main problem is again the cost, which would be around 50 to 200 million per mile. Next, we have the solar-powered Hyperloop, which in contrast to the maglev train is based in a vacuum. So the way it works is passengers are secured in sealed capsules. The capsules are supported by air bearings that operate using compressed air and aerodynamic lift. The two tubes which hold these capsules are welded together side by side, which allow the capsules to move in both directions. For the propulsion, linear accelerators are constructed along the tube at various locations to produce the acceleration. These all lead to a station with many other smaller stations along the way. So these are all used to meet the requirements, which are to be inexpensive, fast, passenger ready, and environmentally friendly, which, makes the project worth it in the first place. So the main impediment is also the infrastructure cost and time, basically. What stops, what stops, aircraft carriers from just undercutting you, right? But competition is always good. So next we have autonomous vehicles, which is promising because Austin is very reliant on roadway transportation and individually owned vehicles. So this is not really something that will change the culture in a way. So how these work is having multiple sensors. Radar is used to detect nearby vehicles to avoid them. Video cameras are used to find traffic lights or signs to avoid running into them and follow traffic laws. And LiDAR is used to detect distances for curbs and other vehicles. And the ultrasonic sensors are used to detect other vehicles when parking. So what would this do is ideally improve traffic congestion, and that's pretty big since Austin is regarded as one of the worst cities in the state in congestion. So another hurdle would be convincing people that this is viable since um, people just like being in control, right? Our final technology is air delivery drones, which are specifically made to carry packages and other things to be delivered in an efficient manner to a specific place, right? So since delivery is expanding much more due to an increase in online shopping, this is pretty crucial. These drones are used for last mile delivery, which basically means that no truck is going to drive to your mailbox or home to deliver this, but a large truck would most likely deliver the package to a warehouse in the city near you. And it could also lead to delivery in more isolated areas and faster delivery in general. The main downsides of this is obviously security risk, and people are not really going to trust this. But ultimately, though, well, we may have some problems to deal with in all of these future transportation problems. With time, more solutions will be brought that will, hopefully bring more viability to these options.
Hello, my name is Waseem Khan, and today I'm going to be discussing the goals and objectives portion of our planning project. So, today we're presenting our group's vision for the future of transportation in Austin, designed for the upcoming decades. Our proposals address the challenges arising from Austin's rapid population growth and its strategic role in connecting major trade routes, especially to the U.S. Mexico border. With the metro area among the nation's fastest growing, our plans aim to reshape the transportation infrastructure to cater to an ever expanding population, which is projected to increase significantly in the next 40 years. Our proposals underscore the need for strategic and innovative transportation planning in Austin. Our proposed transportation strategy for Austin is rooted in core values that we believe are essential for the city's future. We propose focusing on sustainability with environmentally responsible transportation solutions that also support urban development. Diversity is key in our plan, ensuring that transportation is accessible and inclusive for all of Austin's neighborhoods. Innovation is central to our proposals, utilizing creative and technological advancements to tackle complex urban transportation issues. Finally, we emphasize education and community engagement, vital for crafting a transportation system that resonates with the needs of all citizens. For 2030, our group has proposed specific transportation goals for Austin. First, we aim to tackle the challenge of traffic congestion, recognizing Austin's status as a highly congested city. Our environmental goal is to reduce the carbon footprint caused by heavy traffic. We also propose enhancing public transportation, including expanding bike lanes and pedestrian infrastructure as part of a larger mobility plan. Another key goal is to improve pedestrian safety, suggesting the integration of smart technologies like pedestrian detection systems. To achieve these goals by 2030, we have identified specific objectives. We propose a comprehensive traffic management system to alleviate Austin's congestion, ensuring a smoother and more efficient commuting. Recognizing the currently low public transit usage, we suggest increasing the frequency and coverage of public transport. Additionally, we recommend roadway retrofitting focused on enhancing pedestrian safety and accessibility, addressing the city's concerning rate of pedestrian incidents. Looking towards 2050, our group has developed a vision for Austin's transportation that adapts to future needs. We propose integrating advanced technologies like autonomous vehicles and intelligent traffic systems. Sustainable public transit is a major part of our vision, including the addition of high-speed rail and electric buses. We also suggest employing smart city technologies to enhance urban efficiency and improve pedestrian safety, preparing Austin for a technologically forward future. For 2050, we have specific goals, including preparing for the integration of autonomous vehicles, with necessary infrastructure developments. Another goal is to expand high-speed rail networks, building upon our envisioned public transportation expansion and providing faster, more efficient long-distance travel. We also prioritize advanced pedestrian safety systems, continuing our commitment to safer streets using the latest technologies. In conclusion, our group's proposed transportation future for Austin is built on a firm commitment to sustainability, diversity, innovation, and education. Our strategic focus addresses traffic congestion, enhances public transportation, and improves pedestrian safety. By embracing advanced technologies and careful planning, our proposals aim to create an efficient, sustainable, and inclusive transportation system for Austin. This vision not only prepares the city for upcoming challenges, but also lays the groundwork for a resilient and thriving urban environment.
Hello, my name is David Edwards, and I'll be presenting our transportation solutions. For our transportation solutions, we wanted to put an emphasis on traffic congestion, as this is one of the main problems that the city is currently facing. And so, with our first solution, we wanted to make dedicated HOV lanes for EV and autonomous vehicles. This decision came about after finding out that over 20% of EV owners live in the Austin area, or EV owners in Texas live in the Austin area, excuse me. And this goes in line with the city's commitment to embracing environmentally friendly and cutting edge automotive technology. And with the implementation of these HOVs, it would help ease traffic on main highways, as EVs would get their own dedicated lane and not have to fight for a spot on the main highway. As these EVs and self-driving cars become more popular, they would also enhance safety and efficiency by having their own controlled environment. It'll allow these cars to do what they need to do without having to use a lot of CPU power to do so. And this also would add incentive for other people driving normal cars to either buy an EV or an autonomous vehicle to maybe get in a little bit faster lane if that's the decision that they choose. For our second solution, we came up with the dynamic toll pricing system. The way this would work is the price would change based on the number of people that are on the current toll road. So for instance, as you can see here, the prices in this picture show that the roads are at 30 cents, 95 cents, and 180 cents, or $1.80. And that would change based on the number of cars currently driving on the toll road. This solution would be easy to implement because we already have cameras on the toll road, so all we would have to do is track the number of cars and then put it into sort of an algorithm or an equation to spit out a price that is within reason. Higher tolls would encourage people to travel less during the congested hours, or at least try to travel less, or figure out a different method to travel. This would also allow for businesses to try creating flexible work schedules, or at least like different work schedules rather than having the normal, 8 to 5 work. This would allow them to experiment and try to help people with their commutes, or to help, people with their commutes. For our third and final solution, we came up with a citywide mobility credits and incentive system. This would pretty much be an app that users can use to sort of like track their points on how they've used or how they travel. And so with these points, it would allow them to use it at different businesses, redeem coupons or discounts at different restaurants or shopping malls or whatever. We would hope to see that fewer cars are on the road, as well as other people taking modes of transportation. And this would be very good because right now I know that Austin is currently in a big transportation overhaul by adding in a train system or a light rail system. So this would work hand in hand with trying to get people to actively use different modes of transportation. Um, things that would be considered different transportation modes would be the new light rail system, or just walking. I know a lot of people over there drive scooters, so they would be able to the app would be able to track um, these transportation habits, and give them points based on their activity. And that's the end of our presentation, and thank you for listening.